Greetings, friends. This is Elizabeth Schermer with a message for the Aries new moon and this coming month of creation. It's an amazing new moon. The days leading up to the new moon have been amazing, and I am so excited to bring this message to you today. I've actually been sitting with it for a couple of days, and because I can feel the importance and the unique nature of this moon, and so I've been waiting to bring the message forward until I could really dig in and feel a more direct connection to the energies, which has been really happening today. And I'm really looking forward to sharing this with you because we are definitely poised at another threshold of new beginning, and this really is a new beginning. And many of us are already feeling that potential and possibility. So I'm going to spend a little bit of extra time today because before I share the tarot spread, I want to say a little bit about how special and unique this astrology chart is. And if you understand some of the signatures of the chart, which show the template for potential right now, then the tarot cards will make more sense and be even richer in terms of a personal message of support for you. So as we begin, I want to show first of all 3 key cards for Aries, and just say very quickly, especially for those of you who work with tarot, the Emperor is the major arcana card for Aries, and he represents desire, deep desire, and the fire of the commitment to be an individual and to come into alignment with your own personal power and how you express your power through the world, through leadership and creativity and willpower and confidence. And so there's a stability and a quality of order to the Emperor. There's a lovely contrast of the Emperor with the Queen of Wands, who is the court card for Aries. And she represents these inner qualities of Aries, which have to do with the willingness to show up, a new birth of a kind of maturity of your connection to your inspiration, to your imagination, to your willpower, and to your feeling of radiance, of the truth of who you are and your eagerness to carry that forward in the world. So this is the connection to your inner confidence and courage. The queens include the quality of compassion because this comes from a very strong heart and a willingness to hold compassion for yourself and others as you move forward. The queen is embracing the past, she's bringing forward the past, and she claims every part of the past as part of her power. And then the practical card for the new moon at 16 Aries is the 3 of Wands virtue. And so this, if you want to have one touchstone for the signature of this new moon, this is a great one because this is the willingness and ability to show up. A quality of inspiration that leads you to harnessing your inner fire, connecting with your inner fire, feeling the potency and possibility of what is open to you, and then committing to really showing up in your own integrity, which includes being honest with yourself and straightforward with yourself so that you can really be fully available to whatever the new possibilities and opportunities are. So those are some basic signatures, and as you can see, the cards are very fiery. Aries is all about creativity and inspiration and confidence and courage. And so I'm dropping in before we move forward to see what else we'll say about this. I'm going to say a little bit about the astrology chart, and I actually have it here to show you. The new moon is at 16 Aries, so the sun and moon are in conjunction at 16 Aries, and 16 Aries holds a very powerful signature that's related to this new threshold we're crossing. And that signature is a deep connection to the intelligence and the power of the natural world, the guiding energy within the earth. And we call this is often called Kundalini. Sometimes it's called the Akasha. And also we sometimes talk about the Shekinah, the power of the inner light that resides within all that is. This is the light, the fiery light of life force that lives within. It's the intelligence that guides everything on earth. The Sabian symbol for the new moon at 16 Aries is nature spirits within the earth. And so this is our connection to the guiding intelligence that also rules our body. So on a personal level, this new moon is going to help you and strengthen you in your ability to trust your subconscious, to trust your inner light, to trust the inner fire that guides you, and to go to another level of being able to respond to this guiding principle as you make decisions for moving forward in your life. So, very inspiring and very much about inspiration. And this is inspiration that comes from within, and a deep feeling and a new connection to the power and wisdom of the subconscious. Subconscious can also be, we also talk about subconscious as a shadow if we don't have access to it. But when we learn to feel what our subconscious is saying to us and to understand the signals of the subconscious and the way the subconscious lives within our body, when we learn to tap into that power, we have access to the truest, deepest wisdom that's held within our bodies and the earth. And this is a big secret of the wisdom teachings of the Queen of Wands. So that's the overlying energy of the new moon. So even that alone is enough to feel excited for tapping into this momentum. However, I am going to say a bit about the chart because there are a couple of other really strong aspects to the signature of the chart. So this is a picture of the astrology chart. Let's see if I can get this to work here. This is a picture of the astrology chart, and I've circled the sun and moon. What I want to show you about the picture of the chart, or the geometry of the chart, is the concentration of all the planets, with the sun and moon sort of in the middle here of what's called a bowl pattern. And what that signifies is a strong integrated container. And every single symbol, every single Sabian symbol, every single degree of the planets within this chart is talking about some form of power. This is a really amazing harmonic that's being created by this concentration and synthesis of all these different qualities and aspects of power and inspiration and access to ancient teachings and ancient principles, as well as visions of new possibilities to be created. Those qualities exist throughout the different planets that are in this arrangement in the chart. There's one aspect that sits outside of what's called the bowl, which is the North Node up here. I don't know if you can see that. The North Node is alone, and the North Node outside of the bowl, North Node signifies the leading edge of momentum. And so that's emphasizing that this concentration is now going to help us step into, each of us, into a new quality of momentum and on this leading edge of creation, a new quality of creation. And the specific signature for the North Node has to do with an ability to let me pull it in here. The North Node holds an ability to connect with the leading edge of your community and your culture and your group, and receive new visions and insights and ideas about what is possible. So not only are we receiving new insights about what's possible for us as individuals, but all of this is about new momentum towards creating new cultures and new forms together. And so the creativity of this moon is going to lead to us being able to tap into new possibilities in very concrete ways. And so I want to say a little bit more. I want to say a couple more things about this chart. And what I did was circle two key aspects to the chart. In addition to the new moon, which is down here, there's a very unusual and strong and inspiring pattern that has to do with where Saturn and Pluto are conjunct in Capricorn. So Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn carry a general energy of a quality of embodiment. And I don't know if you can see here, but there's a red line between the moon and these qualities, which signifies a square or a quality of like contrast that can lead to something feeling stuck. But in this case, what's happening is new awareness of a determination to show up to what has been stuck in the past and will no longer bind you. That's like perhaps the biggest aspect of this chart is all of the momentum is going towards you feeling on a very deep level the potency and power and possibility of stepping into new creation and harnessing all the wisdom and all the legacy and all of the gifts of the past in order to create something new. And it does require a letting go, which is signified by the south node, which is directly opposite the north node and happens to be exactly between this conjunction of Saturn and Pluto. So the symbol for the south node is a quality of balance. And the south node represents the past. It represents karmic clearing and healing. It represents things we've already mastered that from which we are building a foundation and the requirement to move beyond them. So the south node is activating an incredible signature of a willingness to reap the rewards of the past and show up to balance what is working and what's not working, and what is the structures that are supporting us from the structures that we need to let go of. So the chart, there will be challenges this month and opportunities to have new discernment around perceived failures in order to step into other new momentum. So this new birth is going to require you in a way to let go perhaps of even some plans and some things that you've already put into motion, because now there's something new and greater happening. And so the south node, the leading edge of the point of change in this chart, one of the points of change is your willingness to show up and embrace perceived failures so that you can be available for something new and to embrace the process of success and failure. And use these experiences of perceived success and failure in order to strengthen your ability to maintain balance from within. So, I have been holding curiosity in space for the really what an amazing signature this is and an amazing chart. And so early this morning, I got up before dawn and pulled our new moon spread, and I'm going to share that with you now. And these cards so beautifully express what I asked for was how can we show up knowing this big potential, feeling the opportunity to step into something brand new and the desire to show up. How can we each navigate this? What's some practical advice that will help us tap into the potency and harness our determination and release fears of change and be flexible in making decisions about what's in our highest and best alignment. And so I'll pull these cards. These are the cards for Aries. I'll pull these away and show you the spread now. And this, this brings into beautiful focus the practical advice for the new moon. So I'm going to start with the center card, the Princess of Cups. And the Princess of Cups is saying, in the position of mind, is saying that the way to one of the best avenues for showing up right now and being flexible so that you can step into new possibility and new creation and harness this deep knowingness and wisdom that lies within is to follow your heart. So the Princess of Cups illustrates the principle of a new initiation into your connection to your heart, your ability to follow your bliss, your ability to trust where your heart is calling you, and to feel the bliss of freedom. So to honor your heart, trust your heart, and there is a quality of flow and freedom. She's dancing and spinning here, and there's a deep strength within this newfound quality of freedom. So in position of mind, if you're vacillating about what to trust and where to go in making decisions and how to find the flow, one way you can know in this coming month is to feel the flow that you have when you are aligned with your heart, to trust your heart and to trust your own path of heart. And then amazingly and powerfully, the card in the position of circumstance is another princess, the Princess of Swords. So what's super interesting here is in our circumstances, I'm going to tell the story of this card because the Princess of Swords is rising up out of an altar of the past, and she's leaving it behind. She's dismantling with the sword of inspiration and clarity and new insight from her heart, which is the emerald green, and her brilliant imagination, which is yellow. She's aligned with her heart and her imagination and committed to new ideas and new imagination and new visions, and that's enabling her to leave the past behind. So you can see that there's clouds of dust rising up from what used to be her altar. This signifies the opportunity right now to release even cherished beliefs, even cherished visions of what your foundation is, what your structure is. There's inspiration to move into something new and larger. And so those old cherished beliefs don't need to hold you. And the guidance right now will help you know, with inner truth, will help you know what to attach to and what to release. And then this is leading to the card in the position of spirit, which is the Magician. And the Magician is signifying that we are, by stepping into these new qualities of initiation, represented by the princesses, these new levels of adventure and willingness to lead from our heart and lead from inner guidance and lead from trust. By committing to those processes, we are going to a new level of our own ability to become the magician and to experience magic in the world. There is much, much, much magic in store. And some of us have already been experiencing a great deal of magic in the last few days in preparation for this threshold. So hold curiosity about how magic is going to show up for you this month, because it definitely will. It definitely is. And this is encouragement about that. The final card is affirmation of this process. And this is going back to the quality of inner fire, of inner courage and confidence. The fourth card of the final message for the spread is the Nine of Wands, strength. And this is the strength of connecting to your inner wisdom, the strength that comes from trusting and showing up and honoring inner truth and following inner truth. The nines actually live on the tree of life, and in Kabbalah we learn that the nines live down in our belly and in the realm of the subconscious. And that's where we receive our deep wisdom and the ability to integrate what is known with what is unknown, the sun and moon. The sun at the top of our illuminated awareness and consciousness, and the moon, the wisdom of the body and the wisdom of the earth. So you can look forward this month to new qualities and experiences of your own inner strength and your own inner vitality, and the way in which you are going to connect with others to create and to play and to build new possibilities and new worlds and new fortunate experiences for yourself and others. So I encourage and invite you to reflect in the next few days about what you hold dear and what your intentions are, and then be available to be flexible about those intentions based on the guidance you receive and the quality of following your heart. The Magician is saying that there will be many synchronicities to show you and help you refine your path and refine your actions. So tap into this inspiration of new possibility, and know that success and failure are two sides of the same coin of new birth and adventure and the dawn of new beginnings and new possibilities. So have a fantastic new moon, and thank you for being part of the adventure of our new foundation with the Aries new moon of 2019. See you again soon. This is Elizabeth Schermer and the Alchemy Mystery School.